Hey, Rosebud.
How are you?
I am doing well, my love. You're looking absolutely stunning today.
Well, thank you.
You are absolutely welcome. And welcome to the Do We Have To crew, to another wonderful episode of Do We Have To, a marriage podcast. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Emily.
And we are Not Actual Family Studios production, executive producer, Colin Schmedium, supportive member of the Miller family, Maskell.
Yeah.
And guys, we got a great show today. The big theme, the overarching episode today is going to focus on fighting in marriage, specifically the untold truth about fighting fair in marriage. Emily and I did some research on, essentially, is fighting good or bad? Number one, what does that mean when it comes to marriage? And then also, what are the best ways to interact and have healthy conflict, right? Mm-hmm. And so we have multiple resources on that. We're going to have a wonderful show today. We're also going to get back into our Let's Get Deep. We're going to also go over a little bit more 90s nostalgia. I enjoyed it way too much last week, and Emily did not. And sometimes when Emily doesn't like to do something and I enjoy it, it doesn't give me secret joy, but it makes it more enjoyable. Yeah. But I think secretly deep down, Emily actually does enjoy it.
I don't.
I know you do.
No.
And everything going to be today is going to be brought to you by the iPad, because I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this and the wonderful home ownership that comes, or the wonderful things that come with home ownership. But I feel like something major is broken in our home.
Like every month.
Every month. Last month, it was the air conditioner, which I don't even know if we mentioned that on the podcast. I think we did, because I think I mentioned Anthony. But for like 3 days, we didn't have air conditioning when it just started getting hot. That was $600. That wasn't ideal. And then now our printer went out, which a lot smaller problem. But when you have a podcast and you use paper, even when people complain about the crumpliness it makes on your podcast,
or just kids
helpful.
In general, we're printing stuff out for kids.
Our homework. Yeah, that's got hit.
Like,
schedules, all kinds of things.
Rules needed for this practice. Information for this event. We've got crap going through the printer all the time. Yeah.
So if you got shit breaking at your house, your apartment, your roommate's place, or also known as your parents' house, we are right here with you guys. Hang in there with us, and we'll get through this. And, hey, nothing wrong with a little iPad, little Apple. I can drop Apple on our thing now.
Please don't. Look. Stop it.
Okay. Now, of course, today's episode's being recorded, and it will be distributed at YouTube, youtube.com/dowehavto, a marriage podcast. Mm-hmm. I don't want to brag, Colin, if you're out there, but I kind of included all the things I was supposed to in the intro on the first run through.
And then some.
Yeah.
You just kind of rambled.
By the way, and not to go over on banner time, because I don't want Colin to be disappointed in me, but I did enjoy talking to your mom on the phone just a minute ago.
Yeah, I love it.
I like it when she calls and then she does her insightful advice. Like when I ask her a question and she then gives me good information in regards to just life in general. I enjoy her. I know her, I love her dearly. Mm-hmm. And by no means is our relationship perfect, but I really do care about her and what she says. And I really enjoy how she communicates as a human being.
Yeah.
So I'm at least blessed to have that. Yeah, she's a good lady.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just fun to listen to her, give those insights and then relate it back to teaching. That's what the cool thing is too, is like, it doesn't matter whether we were talking to Gigi about relationships and we were explaining to her what we were going to be doing for the podcast episode today. And she had started talking about marriage encounter, which is something she went through with her husband, Papa. And then she started relating back to her kids about, expressing your emotions and things she does in the classroom. So it was pretty cool and enjoyable. Sorry, didn't mean to get off subject on banter time. But back to what we were saying as far as fighting fair in marriage, right? We're going to explore why fighting fair isn't just about avoiding conflict, because I think that's what a lot of people do. They kind of relate success in the relationship. What?
I just got a message that popped on my phone.
Yeah.
That I cannot.
What did it say?
Oh goodness. It's definitely a Sour Patch Kid moment. And
was that Aunt Katie?
It was.
I just saw that pop up on the iPad. What was she saying? Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's do it. Sour Patch Kid moment. What was it?
Their littlest one said, I'm going to go upstairs and do something fun, but it will hurt your organs. And then
Sylvie
proceeded to jump on her.
Jumped on her back while she was laying down?
On the couch.
Nice. Shout out, Sylvie. We love you. You're the best. You know, she almost, speaking of Sour Patch Kid moment, at Tegan's swim meet last week, Sylvie was there, and I think she didn't get really a whole lot of nap time in.
Well, it was also
she tried to say she was.
Like,
she got nap in, but it was like not very much because Colin was asking her about it, and she was like, "Yeah, I got a little bit in, you know." And she took a swing at me. True story. So she was upset. Colin was telling her don't throw rocks, and he had her, and he was getting ready to pick her up. And she had her little feet free, and I kind of went up to her, and I was going to go give her a kiss, and she just gave a good old swing with the leg. She's like, back the fuck up.
Remember when you were telling me that story, and you punted our dog across the way?
Oh my God, yeah. Wow, we should have just had a Sour Patch Kid. We didn't even see. We don't even write this. This is how it works, folks. This is what we do. This is what marriage life is like. This is what summertime in the Miller household is like.
Tiny Bell just.
I was explaining to Emily how Sylvie attempted to try to kick me and end my life because there was the look of I will watch the light leave your eyes and I will enjoy it when she took that swing.
Yeah.
And I was explaining it to Emily and I kicked forward really hard and the dog, our littlest dog, happened to be walking by when I did it, and you could just hear it sounded like fucking Aaron Judge the other day playing the Royals, fucking just smacking home runs with my boot. Timberlands, by the way. And yeah,
punted her straight to the coffee table.
It was not good. It was not good. I tell you what else isn't good though, is how far away we are from the 90s. The more we've been talking about this, last week we had talked about how on June 2nd of this year,
we're 2020.
We're closer to 2050 than we are 2000, which isn't even the 90s. It's still not the 90s, and it's fucked. And now I just, Blink-182's and the oldies. Aunt Jess brought that up the other day. There's just a lot of shit happening, guys, and we're in a foxhole together. All of us millennial folks, folks born in the 80s, early 90s, we're in a foxhole, and it's our time. It's our time to start graying. It's our time to talk about the good old days in a way that is not interesting to young people.
No.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep doing that. So what I did this time, because I don't know, I just didn't feel like I gave it enough effort. I really want to talk about the 90s, but I just felt like I didn't put enough time into it. So instead of the particular day, because today's June 11th, it's the evening of June 11th, I went and took a look at the week of, for the entire decade of the 90s, the week of, June 10th, June 9th through June 16th, whatever it be. And I just said, hey, ChatGPT, help me do some research. I provided it some resources. And essentially I was like, tell me some shit that went down that's actually interesting to tell the viewers that people might remember back from their childhood or their younger days. Mm-hmm. And then also, let's continue talking about movies, products, music, etc. So get this. This was actually some interesting shit here. So on June 10th, 1990, and you'll remember, I know most people know about this. British Airways Flight 5390 had a dramatic landing at Southampton Airport after a cockpit window blew out. You don't remember this? So they're fucking flying in the plane.
No.
Talking. Mm-hmm. Probably had somebody in their ear like Colin, probably aggressively commanding that they do a bunch of maneuvers, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the fucking window in the front of the plane blows out.
That's terrifying.
The captain gets sucked out.
Oh my God.
Okay. So he got, and when I say sucked out, partially because they grabbed a hold of him.
Oh God.
He's knocked out.
Well, I'd hope so.
They hold on to him. Co-pilot lands them with him hanging out of the fucking front of the plane.
They couldn't just.
You don't remember that at all? There's
in?
famous pictures of that.
No.
Oh yeah. They couldn't because I think with the air and everything, it was like they were trying to keep him from like flying out.
I mean, I would have been 4?
In 90? Yeah. I guess that ages me a little. I was 6, but still, I remember that, and I remember I've seen photos of that. That is a famous thing. Like most people do that, right? So anyway, also on June 10th, 1990, a little bit more positive note. Even though they saved him, they landed the plane, nobody got hurt. That's fucking impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're British Airways, if they're still around, I would fly them. I'd recommend them highly. Texas Rangers pitcher in June 10th of 1990, Nolan Ryan, which I think most people know. You know Nolan Ryan, right?
No.
If you say no, I hope your dad doesn't listen to this. He doesn't really listen to the show, but I hope he never listens to this one. You may end him on that one. He threw his 6th no-hitter, a feat that included retiring Ken Phelps, Ricky Henderson, and Willie Randolph in the 9th inning. Means he struck out all 3 people to throw the no-hitter, which that's fucking impressive at the end of a game.
Yeah.
That dude was a badass. They have a really good Netflix documentary of him that Papa Ron watched in the hospital.
When I was
Highly recommend.
younger, I was not into sports at all. It wasn't until I became older that I got into sports.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's no problem. But I mean, he's one of the greatest pitchers of all time. So it's like, it'd be like hearing Hulk Hogan in wrestling or Bo Jackson in football, Michael Jordan in basketball. You know?
No. And until I met you, I really didn't know what Hulk Hogan
Yes,
is
I remember
famous
the
for.
hurtful things that you've said when we first started dating. Like, who is Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
It's insane. Listen to this one. Now, I don't remember this one, but I had to record it and do it. June 11th, 1991. 11-year-old J.C. Lee Duggard, not related to the Duggard family from my understanding. That was the first thing I thought. I was like, Duggard, like the TV show?
Yeah.
Was kidnapped in South Lake Tahoe, California, and remained captive until 2009. Fucking 18 years.
Whoa.
Yeah. I didn't hear anything about that. I didn't do any additional research on it. I just saw that and I was like, what the fuck? Because normally you get kidnapped, you're dead, or they find you pretty quickly. But to be there that long, that's nuts, right?
Oh my God.
I know. June 16th.
I hope she gets therapy.
That's fair. Another event here. June 16th, 1990. Song You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer peaked at number 8 on the charts. Can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun. You know that one, right?
Well,
Please.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I just got to ask sometimes because, all right, movies, my favorite.
Oh, God.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. June 10th, 1990. Another 48 Hours was the number one film at the box office for the weekend ending June 10th, 1990. Please tell me you know the movie. Another 48 Hours.
No.
Nick Nolte. Eddie Murphy. Fun criminal meets cop type of deal. Well, we have both of them. Another 48 Hours was a sequel, and there's 48 Hours. They're both great. We're going to watch them.
Ugh.
I'm so thankful for this show.
That list just gets longer
and it's going to happen. Hey, we've got a long life together, baby doll. Buckle up. Okay, June 12th, 1992, House Sitter was released and grossed over $9 million in its opening weekend, which is pretty darn good for a little rom-com. This movie was a summer blockbuster release in 1992. House Sitter. Nothing?
Never heard
Steve
of it.
Martin, Goldie Hawn, Kate Hudson's mom. It's sad that I have to say that. Kate Hudson's mom. No? Mm-hmm. So basically, she's like, I think a con artist criminal sneaks in the house. I know you told me not to explain the movies before we started the show. I'm still going to do it.
Nope, never heard of it.
June 13th, 1993. You hear that, Uncle Zach? Uncle Zach argued with me about when Jurassic Park was released this past weekend over at Chip and Angie's. And, oh, God, not Chip, Coach and Angie's. Jesus Christ. Call and edit that out. It was released on June 13th, 1993, not 1994, Zach, earning over $14 million on its first day opening alone and over $50 million in its opening weekend. It was the top-ranking movie at the box office for all of June in 1993.
Never saw it.
Don't worry, we own it, and we will watch it. Well, they got the new one coming out, and Seamus is actually at the age where he wants to see him. We got to watch all of them. There's like 7 of them now. Ugh. So get ready, girly. Loving that. June 15th, 1994, one of the main reasons why most millennials have anxiety, depression, and fear of death. Lion King was released, becoming the top-grossing film of June 1994. Yeah. That's such a fucked movie.
But I also secretly
Run
really
far, far away and never return. I know, it's a good movie. It's just, for a child, a 9, 10-year-old. I remember watching that in 4th grade in Miss Lawson's class at in intermediate school or whatever, because it was just 3rd and 4th grade in that building. But everybody cried at the end of it. They're like, why, Disney?
Yeah,
right?
No, it was devastatingly beautiful. But my favorite scene is with Mufasa and Simba, and they're in the field and they're looking at the stars, and he explains that everyone before them is now a star. And
and how everything's interconnected. Yeah, it's a great fucking movie. I haven't seen the live actions yet, and I really want to. But
I've seen them. I liked them.
Yeah, agreed. June 16th, 1996, Cable Guy was released and opened at number 2 at the box office on this day. It became the 4th-ranked film in theaters for June of 1996. Jim Carrey, Matthew Broderick.
I don't like Jim Carrey movies.
This was a great role for him because as opposed to him being like Ace Ventura, it was more, even though it was comedic, it was a dark role for him because he played basically a stalker. Yeah, it's really good. We own it, so we'll have to watch it.
Oh, never saw it.
Okay. Moving on to products. So I did find some products that were also released during that time, which were interesting because I don't remember them, but like I feel like given where we are with technology today in the world and what was happening back then, I feel like it's important to mention this. June 13th, 1993, Microsoft partnered with telecommunications and Time Warner to launch interactive television, ITV. This allowed users to browse and buy products directly through their television sets. You remember that at all? I don't. And way ahead of its time. And obviously that's kind of the norm of technology now. But like 1993, I don't remember that at all. But clearly, obviously, the world wasn't ready for it because I don't remember it.
Like what would that have been? Like the shopping channel or whatever it's called?
No, because you're calling in the shopping channel. It had to be something you interactively were able to make purchases through. I just don't remember what that was.
I don't know.
Yeah. June 14th, 1994, Packard Bell Electronics unveiled a new line of personal computers called Spectria.
Nope.
Combining home audio, TV, fax, and phone services, these personal computers were designed with a consumer electronics aesthetic and came in various colors. So you could watch TV and send a fax.
No.
Also known as an iPad. Shout out Apple. It's just interesting though. There's shit that they make. I mean, they were obviously making this a long time ago, but like, again, the world just wasn't ready to have that as being the normal everyday piece of life. Well, this technology probably just wasn't quite there yet to make the experience where you have to have that ingrained in your life. Right. And so anyway, but that's all the 90s nostalgia for today, folks. And thank you so much for allowing me to join. You did great. Yeah, one, and then I don't want to watch all the others, and I don't care about anything. Who's Nolan Ryan? Who's Hulk Hogan? You're killing it when it comes to the 90s, girl. You must really miss it. That was a joke, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
I love getting deep in the 90s.
Yeah.
I love getting even deeper with you.
Yeah.
It's time to do our Let's Get Deep.
Yeah.
And for those of you just listening for the first time today, first off, welcome. Secondly, we play a game called Let's Get Deep. It's actually been featured on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu.
Yeah.
Three types of cards.
Friendship version or friends version. We have the couples.
Yeah, they have a couples version. They have a saucy, sexy version. And they also have a friends version, all sold at Target or Amazon. It's by a company called Buy Relatable. Three types of cards, icebreaker, deep, and deeper. And whether you're just going on a date for the first time or you are married for 13 years like Emily and I, this is a fantastic way to get to know each other better and work through the confines of the marital construct.
You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
And today we're going to be doing an icebreaker. Emily, lay it on us. Oh, first, can you swear on the Do We Have to Cruise Lives that you did not pick the card, you randomly do it? Can you repeat it?
I did not pick the card. I randomly did it.
And you swear on Do We Have to Cruise members' lives?
I swear on their lives.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Means she actually did that this time. Go ahead.
Do you consider yourself to be an extrovert or an introvert, and why?
Did you say an extrovert?
Extrovert.
Extrovert. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know why I was thinking Ghostbusters. Remember the Hawaiian Punch that was like ectoplasm cooler? It was green.
I never saw Ghostbusters as a...
No, I know, but like in the grocery store, they had ectoplasm
I don't know.
drinks. Oh, you didn't do anything fun. Okay. So what would you consider yourself, introvert or extrovert?
I'm definitely an introvert.
Why do you say that?
Because I don't like people.
But that's not necessarily what it means, though.
No, I really, really enjoy my free time, like my individual time. I would much rather be alone than with a group of people.
That doesn't mean you're an introvert, though, right?
Well,
because let's break down what that means.
I like to spend time with people, but then I get like overwhelmed by people. So then I need to like decompress, but I need to do it.
So people drain your energy. You get around and your energy gets drained.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that's what that means, right? It is like kind of like a...
Like I recharge when I'm by myself.
Yes. And I will say I'm that way too. I think a lot of people would consider me being an extrovert. And Uncle Will said this best. He used to call us introverted social butterflies, meaning we really enjoyed talking to people and doing those things. And I think we got that from our dads. No. I think he got that because, we enjoyed interacting with people and we learned that from our dads and, and stuff. But at the same time, I do think it was draining and we did like to retreat on a regular basis. Like you only got us for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can only people for a certain amount of time. And then I'm like, okay, I want to join the antisocial social club.
Yeah, no, agreed. Ooh, something must be happening excitingly up there on Fortnite. Summertime's upon us. Yeah, no, I would agree with that. It's a very straightforward question, and I like it because I think that does give you an insight to personality. But I do think we're both introverts. I think we go about how we handle our introvertness differently. You definitely like to isolate to recharge, like full on isolation. I just need to be in a comfortable spot. And I can kind of zone things out and recharge.
Like when we're here at the house and everybody's upstairs, like doing whatever, I like to be away from all of it. Like, I really do like to be alone.
No, I get it. Yeah, no, it makes absolute sense. It does. But I think kind of understanding that. You see, the thing is, you could be the same thing, but your needs are different, right? I mean, and it's understanding that, and it's asking questions and answering questions like this to kind of get a better understanding. You know, initially, like, are you an introvert or extrovert? Well, what does that mean for you, right? And it is, I need to be around people to feel energized. I need that. What does that look like? And then introverted, what does being alone mean? Because I thought for you, it would be like, I need my head in a book, or I need to be doing something I want to do and be home. When in reality is, I need to be away from everybody, get the fucking dogs away from me, get kids, everybody, just give me a second to take some time, recharge. Whereas for me, it's like, I just need to be sitting, doing productive things in a comfortable space, and I need Below Deck on in the background.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy my time with people.
Yeah.
But I'm very picky about who I spend my time with.
Yeah, yeah.
And even the people that I choose to spend my time with, I only have so much in me.
Do you think Colin judges me for watching Below Deck?
No.
I just get this sneaky suspicion sometimes.
It's just a good show to binge watch.
I agree. It's fantastic. If anybody hasn't watched the show Below Deck, it's fucking fantastic. Yeah. I think it's a good balance, though, of like people are doing an actual job, that it's interesting, and the drama that comes with it. I don't think it's too dramatic.
Well, and you can just have it on in the background and you don't really miss anything. Like, I don't know. I like shows like that where I don't really have to think about it. Like if I want to tune in, I can tune in and there's drama and exciting, blah, blah, blah. And then if I just want noise, it's good noise.
Yeah, no, it's good to know. And I appreciate you getting deep with me today. And Do We Have to Crew, we'll continue to get deep with you every week. You certainly send us, hey, let us know what is your style of recharging, whether you're an introvert, an extrovert. Go to dowehavето.com, shoot us a message, submit a question or comment to the show. We will likely have some sort of AI video spit out of this discussion, so feel free to comment on all of our socials, which we'll give out at the end of the show. And not only are we learning about each other, whether we're extroverts, introverts, and we're getting deep, but now we're going to talk about how we probably aren't very skilled at fighting and how the research really explained that to us and slapped us in the face with it.
Yeah.
Right?
The best thing I saw in all of what we were like looking at and stuff was this meme, and it had Leonardo DiCaprio like in some movie, like fighting it out, like how I used to think I fought. And it was like him like screaming and yelling and like doing all these things. And then
probably like Revolution Road or whatever. The famous one is where he's getting divorced from his wife.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But then it cut to, what's the guy that's like super popular now?
Pedro Pascal?
No.
The only person I think of on a daily basis that I associate with popularity is Pedro Pascal.
Cillian.
Love you, Pelly. Oh, Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
Oh, where he's kind of like aloof about it.
And he's just like sitting back and then it was like, and this is how I fight now, where he's just like.
Well, and I kind of like
that's.
You are like that. And when I get fired
me.
up, I could just see you back there just like
I'm
when's
over
it going to be done?
Like,
right? Yep.
I'm over it already.
Yeah.
Like not wasting my time or energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing we took away from it, and so if you're in a relationship, or marriage, friendship, whatever type of relationship it is, when you're interacting with people, conflict and fighting is actually a very healthy thing. It's really not that. You need that. It's like that's the research across the board. So if you're concerned about fighting, that's not the thing you need to be concerned about. You want to have fighting. When you're not fighting, it is shown marriages are more likely to fail. Conflict is necessary. Mm-hmm. And not only is it necessary, it's natural and it's essential for your intimacy.
Right. Because if you're not even willing to fight with somebody about something, then there's just not that passion and that like need to get it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's just not, you shouldn't be with them. Like if you don't care enough to fight with them, you shouldn't be with them.
I should have read Time magazine more after we got married, because like there's multiple times when we research, Time magazine is doing research and articles on this stuff that our AI pulls in all the time.
I do like
They're the
Time
ones
magazine.
that, yeah, me too. But like, I would never have thought to read it for marriage advice or relationship advice. But they're the ones that was the biggest piece of research. They did a big study about couples who reported fighting versus couples who didn't report fighting. And it was like 15 to almost 20% more likely that the relationship, long-term relationship would end, or it would end in divorce if there wasn't any reporting of fighting at all, versus like conflict. But the conflict, though, statistically had to be healthy. And that's kind of what we're really kind of gearing up towards for today is, okay, we know fighting's essential for a positive relationship, but that doesn't mean the way we're fighting is creating a positive relationship. A lot of times, probably the way we're fighting, especially you and I, is creating negative.
Well, and you can't also fight about everything.
Right. And I think that's the thing, right? And that was the big thing
There's
that
a balance.
I'm going to mess up her name. Hold on, I'm sorry. Dr. Susan Hutler, she recommended replacing fighting instead of what we traditionally think is fighting, or the word fighting, with calm, cooperative problem solving. Meaning that, and we've kind of talked about this before, right? Be hard on the problem, not the person, which I never even thought that kind of coincided. But like, even though I don't do a good job with that a lot of the time, that is the mindset. And that's what they're talking about, is really you have to look at every problem or every disagreement you're in is not about a me versus you, but there's a problem here. We both have differentiating perspectives of it. We need to come together and solve it.
Right.
Yeah. And so just kind of the disagreements themselves. The other cool thing I thought, and I've never looked at it this way, they signal investment, meaning that like when you are disagreeing with somebody, the reason why it is healthy is because you passionately care about what is going on and how you're interacting with that other individual, or whatever the external indicator is in the environment that is causing the disruption in the harmony of your relationship. That was really cool. I didn't think about that. And I feel like if I have that in my mind on a regular, consistent basis,
right.
probably
That's
the way
why
I
I was
come
saying,
out
like,
is different.
if you're not even
you know?
going to be, if you're not even willing to fight with your partner, then you shouldn't be in.
No, I agree. And I agree. And just kind of just some basic general overviews before we kind of get into what I think is the most important thing, which after we did the research, there kind of came down to 4 basic habits of fighting fair. They always like to break things into 4 or 5. I've noticed that when it comes to researching.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a solid number. I agree. But if you were going to read something, if somebody said, here's 35 tips on how not to fight, you're not going to fight. Here's 5. Yeah, I can probably fit that in if I put Below Deck on in the background.
5 is stretching it.
So kind of some of our research overview. There's lots of benefits in learning these habits, as well as embracing conflict, but doing it in a positive manner. Children exposed, meaning a lot of us, I think, have this idea we want to hide or shelter our kids from fighting. But if you can embrace this type of conflict or this type of mindset with conflict within your relationship,
in a healthy way,
people that are exposed to it, not just your children, but just people that are around you in general, they are exposed to constructive conflict. They learn healthier interviewing skills, less destructive patterns, and they typically have the opposite effects when it comes to handling stress, meaning they handle it better.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, and that's from National Health Institute directly.
Because you're treating it more as a conversation than a fight.
Yeah. Yep. Research done by John and Julie Gottman from Time, 69% of marital conflicts stem from unresolved differences, not incompatibility. Emotional expression within healthy boundaries predicts stronger relationships. So I think that's a really good point too, is that, and you can speak to this, I think a lot of people in a relationship are like, we're just different. We grew apart. And the more now that we've done this, no, it's not. You stopped fighting. And when you say stop fighting, I mean,
you stopped caring.
You stopped trying to solve the problem.
Investing.
You stopped. Yes, exactly. You stopped fighting for you as a couple. It's not because you were just 2 completely different people. We're all different.
Right.
We're like, even if we like the same things, we like them differently.
Right.
It's really the ability to say, I want to continue to do and continue to solve problems with that other person.
Exactly.
How do you think I am about that? Like, if we were going to, I didn't have this plan, but I'm just, hold on. Let me go over the last one. And I want to ask you this question. Okay. It's important to me. Meta emotion and grit. Success comes not from sameness, but how partners process feelings and persist through challenges, which is good. Again, not matching. Everything doesn't have to match up or fucking fit. square peg into a square hole. It's really about your ability to taking on these things together and being together. Like having that growth mindset of being together, right? And knowing that regardless of whatever comes, now granted there's scenarios where it's a hard boundary of you break this, the trust is gone. I can't see us ever, you cheat on somebody, an affair, those things. But I'm talking about just run of the mill issues where a lot of people tend to quit and say, we just grew apart. That's the type of bullshit that I think a lot of this can prevent from happening if you have the right mindset.
Right.
So with that being said, what is your overall view of how I fight with you? And you will not hurt my feelings. I did not ask you to prep for this before the call, or not the call. Sorry, I'm in work mode. Prep for this before
well, I think
the show.
I think we both share a lot of negative traits when it comes to fighting. So I don't think it's fair for me to put a grade or anything on it.
Well, just put a grade on me. I'll take it.
We both tend to bring up things from the past. We both tend to have a tally kind of thing. Sometimes you more than me.
I think I'm by far the worst at it.
You also are more quick to start the fight than
That's
me.
Fair.
And you get very
You say aggressive. I mean, I'm not like I'm going to hurt you or anything,
Well,
but
no,
I would
but
say
like,
I fire off for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not like you mother, blah, 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 but I'm like, no, I'm upset, and I'm upset. Like it's animated,
Right.
and you can tell I'm upset.
Right.
Yeah.
Before you ever really get to know like all of the details and things.
Yeah.
And you automatically assume the worst.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before.
you're not wrong.
So like I feel like sometimes I'm always on the defense because I wasn't trying to be
That's fair.
like against you or disloyal or starting the fight or doing something intentionally to upset you or whatever the case may be. Like I wasn't trying to do something that started an argument. But there are things that you clearly feel more passionate about than I do. Mm-hmm. And you make that very well known, where I do the same, but they're just totally different subject matters. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So like the things that we do fight about are things that we're not necessarily as equally passionate about.
I will say you make a good point. When I get mad about things, it's things that typically you're not putting up a big fight about, but you're kind of like, I don't understand why you're so upset about it.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So it's automatically like we come in to the argument as both as being one under.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
to me, it's not a big deal. To you, it is. And to you, it's not a big deal. But to me, it's like the world's ending. You know what I mean? So like we already start at a place where one's at a disadvantage. And I think that's 90% of all of our main arguments is that it's not that we are both passionate about the thing we're fighting on. Most of the time when it's something we're both passionate about, we do automatically go into third party kind of like where we know this is the problem, but we're on the same team, so let's attack it together. Where like the other side, we can't see the problem as being the third party. It's you versus me.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where we need to work on.
Yeah, I agree. No, I was just kind of curious what your perspective was of it, and I'm very appreciative of that because
What's your perspective on me and my fighting score?
Sometimes I get like the ostrich in the sand kind of thing where you're digging your head in the sand kind of vibe where it's almost kind of can be gaslighting at times because I can say something and you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know how you get that at all. And then like, we'll argue about it maybe 10 or 15 more times. And then you'll out of nowhere be like, well, it's because this is how I feel. And I'm like, that's what I've said the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Garage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to go into that conversation, but like, that was super fucked because we're talking about years of an argument that you just then were like, well, it's because of everything you've kind of
sometimes it takes that long
expressed.
for me to realize that that's really what was happening.
I guess that's kind of the point. I guess for you, like, I feel like there's this lack of like self-awareness. And so it's like this convenient ignorance that then allows you to be free of responsibility when we have disagreements, which then again, you're not coming off rough or anything like I am, where it's kind of like, you're not being helpful at all. But it's almost like I'm alleviating myself a responsibility to be a partner in problem solving. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I love your demeanor about it. And I think you're really calm with me. Like, I think you make an effort to argue with me in a way that is conducive to mitigating my negatives. So I do think there's a lot of skill sets you show that allow us to be more harmonious, even when I fly off the handle. But then there's like a lot of it where it's like, I really am trying to bring up the problem. I really am trying to express my thing with it. And you have a tendency to like, almost, it's like you don't recognize it's there. In reality, you really know it. It's like a convenient ignorance.
Yeah.
It might not be fair. I get
it. In that one incident, it honestly,
that was just an example.
I didn't recognize it until we were in that moment out in the garage.
I know, but they're like, here's the other thing though. They're major things. So it's not like, hey, you didn't put down the toilet seat. It is like, it can be finances. It can be relationship stuff. Like, it's major stuff where you're like, oh, I'm just coming around to that. You know what I mean? It's like, no, it can't be constructive that way either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's not a complaint. I would say if there was like an area, kind of like what you had brought up, I've got about 10 of them. I would say there's one for you. So the good thing is though, is that,
I personally don't like fighting.
I don't enjoy it either, because even though I fly off the handle initially, and guys, when I say fly off the handle, I don't want anybody to give anybody the impression that like I'm this nasty, mean person.
No. I
get hot really quick. I immediately cool off.
Yeah.
So I blow up and go, and that's it. And then I'm done with it. Like but the thing is, it'll reoccur because
slip in the Mario
I'm like an injured pit. I think the best way I can describe it, I'm like an injured pit bull. I take a lot into bad things that happen to me, like a pit bull you see on the street that has a scar on its face that overall is fine with people, like a good dog. But like if you happen to trigger it, it can fly off the handle. And I would never hurt anybody or do anything. But like, I'm just saying, like, the temperament, you know what I mean?
Well, your bark's louder than your bite.
I only have a bark. I don't have a bite, just so everybody's aware.
Well,
I don't want anybody to think I beat the shit out of you when we're going to disagree.
No.
But my point is like, I feel like there's a lot of hurt and background into things that I bring in unfairly all the time. And it's been a struggle. I mean, I feel like I'm getting better at it. But, I'll bring in being in 7th grade, and having to sleep on a floor for a year. And like, if something's not right, I'll bring that into the conversation. It has nothing to do with you. You didn't do that. You weren't
you have a
my
lot of
abusive
triggers
uncle.
that I don't have. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's not
it's
your fault.
understandable. No,
I know that, but it is, and it's not. It's so long as I'm trying to get through it and grow through it, all those sorts of things. But the important thing is that we still have the mindset though. And I think that's it. It's not going to be perfect.
No.
We fail actually a lot more than we succeed. However, we are beginning more and more, especially with the research. And that's where it really comes down to, is just gaining knowledge. The more knowledge you can gain, the more successful you can be together. And understanding that every time we're in a disagreement, we're really not necessarily mad at each other. It's a symptom of we're not addressing the problem.
Yeah.
And that's why we're getting mad at each other, because there's a problem and we're not solving it together.
Right.
And so there's 4 habits of fighting. Ooh, you sound like you were going to say a point.
Well, I was going to say, like, before we recorded, we were talking to Gigi. She was saying, her biggest takeaway from Marriage Encounter when she and my dad went through it was after 24 hours, it's done. Like, don't ever bring it up again. It's over. Solved, not solved, like, it's done.
I think
it can't be brought back in.
I agree. I mean, I don't disagree with her. I think it's a bit unrealistic.
I mean, I think it's a little unrealistic, but I also think if it's one thing to strive for.
Oh, I think you should strive for it. And then if something does come back, it is recognizing that's happening and talk through that with your partner. Right. So I guess to her point, actually, so I don't disagree with her. It is still having that mindset though of like, hey, this is something we visited before.
Right.
If there's still a problem, we need to solve it together, but we're bringing back up something that I feel like we've already worked through.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. So the 4 habits of fighting fair. So this is how it was broken down with all the research, right? Number 1, stay constructive, not critical. We've talked about this actually at nauseum already for our Do We Have To crew, but focus on behavior, not character. Avoid harsh startups and global criticisms. That's definitely going to be more something for me to work on than you, because I fly off the handle. I need to come in with calm, allow my emotions, or me to control my emotions, not for my emotions to control me. And why does it matter?
I think we both need to.
I think you do a pretty good job coming in calm regardless. Like I said, I don't think that's your issue. I think the issue sometimes is like this lack of not wanting to deal with it, but almost like a lack of wanting to deal with it, or like a lack of awareness of it. But I think to me, sometimes and this is just, again, like it's not a character thing. I think it's just sometimes I feel like I have a heightened sensitivity to thinking things are going on, and then sometimes it's not on your radar. And that's where we just have to navigate those waters together.
Yeah.
It matters, though, because criticism, contempt, 2 of Gottman's 4 horsemen strongly predict divorce. So the more contentious and contempt you have for your partner, and that's not resolving problems, the more likely you're going to get a divorce, the more likely you're going to break up, the more likely you're going to stop being friends, and it's going to be somebody you randomly run into at the coffee shop sometime and keep looking at each other but won't say anything awkwardly.
What?
I wasn't saying that from like an experience standpoint, but we've all had friends that like we spend a lot of time with, and then we run into them. It's like you're not friends with them anymore.
Oh,
it's
I thought
awkward.
you were like saying that you'd lead into like an affair or something. I was like, that's not what happens. What are we talking about?
No, and I would never meet my mistress at the coffee shop, obviously.
Well, no, because I go with you. We all know I'm wife number 1.
Number 2, listen and empathize. I think that's good advice for anybody in any situation, right?
Yeah.
Pause.
I don't do that.
Which I don't do. The pause is a big thing for me. Reflect your partner's feelings. What I hear, step into their shoes.
I don't do that.
Empathy breaks the cycle of defensiveness and escalation. And I guess that's maybe some way we both can help each other of like, I know she's going to be understanding. Like when I get what I'm upset about, she's going to be empathetic of. So why am I going to get mad about it? I'm going to explain myself. We're going to figure this out. And I think that's a thing too. It's like you feel like you're in an island when you're mad and you're all alone. In reality, we're on that island together. There's a huge fucking wave coming in. We got to figure out how to navigate this wave or we're going to drown. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Like we both have to get up the tree.
So if I just look at it like we're on the island together and it's not me versus you, that's the hugest thing, right?
Yeah.
But the what I'm hearing from you, that's a huge. I didn't even when I read it the first time and when we were researching it, repeating back and getting a full understanding. I do that in work every day. Like project management, you have to do that. Otherwise, problems happen in project management every day, but they become big fuck ups if you aren't clarifying and confirming and reconfirming and then following through.
Yeah, and we don't do any of that. Like, no. I don't ever...
Well, we will now be.
Well, yeah,
but I think that's
like,
just
I
one
don't
of those
ever
things.
go back and be like, okay, you just spat all of this out to me. Here's what I took in. What have I missed? Kind of thing. Like, I don't ever follow up on...
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, I don't have a lot of... It's like I sit and I like
you take it and then you move on from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Where I shouldn't.
I do the same thing. It's just I'm blowing it out at you and then I walk away. You take it, walk away, right?
Yeah.
We're not trying to problem solve. We're just give me the energy. I'll take, you know what I mean? And then let's just move on.
Yeah.
You know? And I can see where there's some good intentions behind that for both of us, but it's like it's not going to be good for the overall long-term benefit of our marriage.
Right. And I think that's why so many of our arguments get looped back into each other.
Yeah. Yep.
Because we're never really finishing them.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. And another big one, which I never do, because I'm always you, it, they, we, the I statements. Yeah, and staying on topic,
I never
too.
Do that.
Again, me bringing in things... It's nothing
we both
to do with
that.
you,
like,
right?
We both bring in 1,000 different things from the outside, and we always say you, we, never I. Like we never use the I statements.
Well, and it's
hard.
That's why half marriages end in divorce, because these are. I mean, even though it seems simplistic or something that's so knowledgeable. But we can't do it. And there's skill sets to learn and there's things to be mindful of. But use I statements and stand topic. Describe your feelings without attacking. Avoid you always or you never. God, I'm terrible at that.
So bad at that.
Generalizing leads to defensiveness and stonewalling. Yeah, the inability to get past anything.
All the time.
Yeah. Yep. And, when you get to that point, the other one is really, really good. But the last one here, take breaks and regroup. Like if you do need to take a fucking breather or a timeout, I have a tendency, I just want to fix it. And I think that's where some of that passion comes out. It's like, let's get this fucking resolved. Like here, here's how I'm feeling, whatever. And sometimes you are like, hey, I need to stop talking about this. I think that's the better way to go, to be honest. I'm credit where credit's due. I think sometimes we do need to say, there's nothing productive happening right now. It's not a cop out. There's a difference between avoiding the issue and not wanting to talk about it versus let's take 30, let's come back, and let's just talk calmly about this, and we're going to get this figured out. Like, I'm sorry you're upset. We're going to move forward. Doesn't mean you have to apologize to the person like you did something wrong, but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry you're upset. Right. I don't want you to be upset. So like, let's figure it out. Let's just take a powder.
Yeah.
Go get a coffee. Let me scratch your back for a little bit. Yeah, absolutely.
Always need scratches.
Yeah, I never get any. So here's the thing, guys. So they had some other practical tools and tips. I'm not going to shit on them fully, but there was some of them I read and I was just like, okay. Rules of engagement. Agree beforehand on how to fight fair, mutual consent, safe place, no public fighting, type of break signals. So meaning like
the safe word
or just, hey, I'm going to tell you when I've had my limit and it's not going to be productive. It doesn't need to be a fucking code word. Just, I'm going to tell you, and you need to be respectful of that, right? Mm-hmm. But like just the rules, like just deciding together, is that Belle?
Yeah.
Deciding together that is going to be one of those things that you need to determine beforehand is important. And again, people can be like, well, that's nothing new. Nobody's doing it.
Right.
And there's things you have to be mindful of and think of. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here to deliver this message. That's why we do the research we do. This was one I hated. Conflict journal. I think it's fucking stupid. It's not realistic to the modern couple, the modern friendship, the modern relationship. Now, there's people that journal.
Like, I like to journal.
I'm gonna write it down.
But I'm not going to write it down and give it to you.
Nobody has time for that. You're not going to save your marriage. You're not going to have a better, healthier marriage if you're stopping and taking time to. And for some people, it is. I'm just saying. To me, it's like a small percentage answer for a large percentage problem.
I do think a lot can be. Said for like writing a letter to somebody.
You know what this is now that I don't know why I didn't think about this. This is like post. So this is like doing film review after a game. You want to get better? Hey, we had a big fight. I'm going to write through this. Like, how did I react? Right? How did I feel when I reacted?
Still, that's
what
only
I needed.
one side.
Well, right. But if the goal is though to improve, and if the focus is I'm trying to solve a problem with my partner, you have to you can't work out for me. I can't get healthier physically. It's the same thing with this.
Right.
You got to be able to. It doesn't mean we can't compare notes and go over it together. But I do think, actually, now I'm not shitting on this anymore. This is actually something, even though I feel like it's not my wheelhouse because I can be lazy, this is something I can be more disciplined of and reviewing it. And I think this will avoid conflict in the future because I'm realizing and putting it on paper of what it is. And a lot of times it ain't going to be anything to do with why I got mad at you. I don't know why I look so confused on that. Well, I think it can be helpful.
I don't see the point. Like, to me, I like journaling, but journaling is a pre-situation, not an afterthought.
No, I agree.
Like, it's almost like a brain dump kind of thing.
Sure. But I think that's the point. You do dump your brainstorm on how you got there, why it happened, what you can do in the future. It betters you overall. And maybe it's something that you can communicate after the fact instead of just leaving it after you perceive to have solved the problem. Maybe that presents some of that residual
So it's
effects.
not being shared. Like, you're not going back and forth.
No. I think you do it yourself.
If you're doing it to where
I think that's the way to do it. No.
Afterward, like...
It says both partners right, but I don't feel like that's necessarily... Yeah.
You can interpret so much from the
then you're
written
talking about,
word.
I'm going to write down what you did wrong. No.
Right.
It's self-reflection. And if you want to meet and talk about it afterwards, or if you have anything mindful from it, that's great. This is what I hated. Role-playing sessions. Yeah, it's like saying, let's do icebreakers to talk about conflicts in marriage. It's stupid. I would highly recommend Do We Have to Crew? Just ignore that I even said it. But it was in the research, so I felt like it was... If you get something out of practicing, I really don't like your dog in the worst way.
I'm so sorry. She ate dinner. She needs to go.
But... So from a role-playing perspective, I wouldn't recommend it. But if that's something that makes it easier for... There's personalities out there that I know that would probably benefit them.
Yeah, I don't like the role-playing thing either. I'm just not into make-up scenarios because the thing is, real marriages have so many real issues.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to create one out of thin air.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We've got enough.
Yeah, we don't... Yeah. But in fairness, I think there are some people, maybe it's even new couple. Like I'm sure there's situations that apply where you could walk through it again and maybe get better with it. It's just, I saw that and I immediately like, ugh.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, guys, take those tips. Let us know if you have any questions on that. And really appreciate you listening to the topic. Do you mind going get her? I can do the socials.
No, we're
okay.
Good.
Okay. See, we're solving problems together right now. No argument
She's
here.
Fine.
She's a pain in the ass.
I know, but she's probably stuck.
Do we have to crew? Sorry, listen. Yeah, she probably is. But yeah, go to our website, dowehavето.com, submit a question, comment to the show. Let us know if this is something you've been working on or if this is something you've been struggling with.
Yeah.
Let us know. We would love to talk about it on the show. We'd love to talk about it with you directly. If you don't want us to talk about it on the show, but if you'd like feedback, let us know. We'll have socials out there. So for our socials, again, I mentioned dowehavето.com. We also have YouTube, youtube.com @Do We Have to, a marriage podcast. That's where all the video filming of the show occurs. Thank you, Colin. You got dowehavето.com here like 5 times, Emily.
I'm sorry.
Instagram, Threads, and Facebook, it's @do.we.have.to. X, it's @dowehavetoPod. TikTok, it is @dowehavetomarriagepod. Now, I will say as well, so next week we'll be talking about The Wedding People, which is our book club episode, so we'll have a segment for that. And of course, we'll have another topic as well. And so we'll be looking forward to that. So if anybody is looking for just having a book conversation, we're going to be doing The Wedding People by Alison Espach. Providence University, I think, is where she teaches literature. It's supposed to be a very good book. Emily's already read it. I have not yet, so it's classic us. I will be following from behind and getting it done in a rapid fashion.
Yeah.
Now for Peloton, I'm finally actually doing this here. So we've started multiple weeks ago. We started a Peloton team, and I've been very proud of this. I think this is a really cool thing. It's one of those things. It's not that I wasn't putting effort into it. It was something I wanted to do, but like it has been growing, and it has been something we've been putting a lot of time into. And what I wanted to start doing is making sure that people knew of the team and all the work that they're doing. And so they have a top, like, here's your top performers each week. And so from May 26th to June 1st, total time working out, listen to this, Krabby Cakes, who's in the United Kingdom, and she is training for the Chicago Marathon. And good luck, Krabby Cakes. We wish you the best. And thank you for being a part of the Do We Have to crew. 17 hours and 53 minutes working out.
Wow.
Is that not impressive?
Even Belle's going.
Second place, Not a Runner Katie in Iowa. Oh, no. Iowa raised, Kansas teacher. Love our teachers.
Yes.
Very much. 7 hours and 53 minutes. Michaela Bryan, she is always in our tops. And I think she's in the Kansas area. 7 hours and 47 minutes. Do We Have to Pod KC, which is me. 7 hours and 16 minutes. Just lazy in it. Kelsey Lifts, Garwood, Texas. 6 hours and 9 minutes. Go Unicorn Go in KC. 4 hours and 50 minutes. Chiefs Chick 816. 3 hours and 43 minutes. Number 8, KT Mac, Nebraska. 3 hours and 28 minutes. Lydia Bordeaux, Seattle, Washington. 3 hours and 15 minutes. And at number 10, Crazy Spin Legs. 3 hours and 4 minutes. That's impressive. And we had folks all the way, almost every team member, with the exception of a few, had time working out this week. So guys, continue putting time out there, record it in Peloton. We have our monthly challenge out there, which is working out every day. You basically, it's how many days did you work out in the month of June? You can join that challenge, sign up for our team, and then it'll pull in all of your information. Sorry, Colin. Anyway.
You hit the mic.
I did hit the mic. But anyway, we track everything to Peloton. By the way, you don't need to have fucking Peloton equipment to use the Peloton app. It records outdoor runs. It records strength training, times it. It projects how many calories you have. It does GPS. That's what I use it. You'll notice most of my time is running, either myself running or running with my son. So anyway, come on, join the Do We Have To crew. Put the hashtag Do We Have To crew on there if you'd like. Feel free. And we appreciate all the participation and the support, and it's been really cool.
It has been. Yeah.
So with that being said, it's advice time.
Okay.
Let's hear it. Come on, give me something different today.
Give you something just different.
Something profound. What do you think Belle's saying right now?
You can't fix stupid.
You can't fix stupid. That's right. Yeah.
Belle is saying, get me the fuck out
I think to
of
your
here.
point, right? We rise to the level of our own incompetence, meaning that, if you're continually trying to learn, you're going to continue to grow and be successful. But, and I think this, especially in this world with social media and political divisiveness, people tend to be resistant to learning things. So thank you for doing the show with me and helping us not only learn about how to be better together, but also to help other people be better together.
Yeah, this one was a good topic for us to research because I didn't realize that the way you fought impacted.
Well, I mean, you just knew fighting, and then like if you figure it out, you're good.
Right.
But then no.
Really
There's so much more to it. Just like everything else in life, there's
Yeah.
a whole fucking lot more to it, and it can be death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
You know, I love you, Rosebud.
I love
Oh, and also, Colin, you better not have played that music too loud. I want everybody to hear this. Everybody out there, including myself, don't be an asshole. Love you, Rosebud.
Wake up, I'm about to shake up every little thing, show you all that we can be. Come dance in my club.